I'm just your average, snack-loving, adventure-chasing golden dog. And guess what? My best friend Dad and I go on the coolest adventures. We've got a big black Jeep named Birdie, a whole world to explore, and, of course, plenty of snacks. Every week is a brand new tail-wagging adventure. You never know what we'll find. Hidden carrots, new friends, maybe even buried treasure. So grab your hat, pack your snacks, and come with us.
Harley and Dad and the Haunted Barn. One sunny morning, Dad scratched behind Harley's ears and said, "How about an adventure today, buddy? Want to visit a farm and meet my old friend Tom?" Harley's tail thumped instantly. "Do farms have snacks?" "Well, they have cows, pigs, and chickens," Dad laughed, grabbing his hat. "I'll bring backup snacks," Harley declared, stuffing carrot sticks into his treat pouch. Birdie the Jeep bounced down the dusty road, past fields of golden grass and rows of corn. As they pulled into the driveway, a tall man in overalls waved from under a big oak tree. "Tom!" Dad called. "Well, I'll be," Tom grinned. "You brought Harley. Heard lots about this adventurin' dog." Harley puffed out his chest. "I also dabble in carrot evaluation." Tom chuckled. "You two want to help me feed the animals? They've been waiting." Harley's eyes lit up. "Yes!" As Tom led them toward the animal pens, a friendly bark echoed across the yard. A blur of black and brown fur raced from behind the chicken coop, ears flapping in the breeze. "Harley," Dad said, "I think someone's coming to say hello." The blur skidded to a halt in front of them, panting happily. "I'm Daisy," she said in a cheerful bark. She was a bouncy little dog with hay on her ears and mud on her paws. "You must be Harley. We've heard all about you." Harley beamed. "All good things, I hope." "Very snack-focused," Daisy winked. "Welcome to the farm." She gave him a friendly sniff, then added in a hushed voice, "Just, stay clear of the old barn." Harley's ears twitched. "Why?" Daisy looked around, then leaned closer. "Because it's haunted." "Haunted?" Harley squeaked. "Like real haunted?" "Like creaky noises, flickering shadows, cold breezes, and the occasional mysterious woo-oo-oo," Daisy whispered dramatically. "It even gives Pete the donkey the heebie-jeebies, and he tried to eat a tractor once." Tom chuckled. "Daisy likes telling tall tales." "They're not tall if they're true," Daisy said with a wag. "Anyway, come meet the animals. Just, keep one eye on the barn." Harley looked nervously toward the crooked structure beyond the fence. "I'll keep both eyes on it," he muttered. Daisy trotted ahead, tail high. "Don't worry, farm's full of fun. And snacks. I'll show you where the pigs keep the good apples." Harley's tail wagged again. "Okay, now I'm feeling brave." Tom led them to a wide sunny pasture where a big spotted cow stood chewing cud beneath a shady tree. "This here's Sweetie Pie," Tom said. "She gives the best milk this side of the valley. Nicest cow you'll ever meet." Sweetie Pie turned her big gentle eyes toward Harley and gave a slow soft moo as she ambled over. Harley sat down respectfully. "Hello, ma'am. You smell like wildflowers and oatmeal." Sweetie Pie lowered her head and gave Harley a warm lick across his entire face. Harley blinked through the slobber. "Tastes like kindness and grass." Sweetie Pie chuckled softly. "You must be Harley. I've heard about you. Brave little adventurer. Loves snacks." "I brought extra carrot sticks," Harley announced proudly. Sweetie Pie nodded sagely. That's good. Snacks help when you're nervous. Nervous? Harley asked. Sweetie Pie looked toward the far edge of the pasture, where the old barn leaned sideways in the bright sun. That barn over there, she said in a low, moveless voice, makes strange noises when the moon is high. Harley's ears perked. Creaks and clatters, wings flapping through the dark, clanking noises in the shadows. Sweetie Pie shivered so slightly her bell jingled. Tom chuckled. Sweetie Pie's always been sensitive to noises. I know what I hear, Sweetie Pie insisted, narrowing her big eyes. Something spooky lives in there. Harley's tail twitched. Like a ghost? Sweetie Pie looked down kindly. Could be. Or maybe it's just something waiting to be understood. Sometimes things aren't what they seem. Harley swallowed a nervous gulp. That's what Daisy said, too. Sweetie Pie leaned down and touched her nose to his. Just be careful, brave one. Harley nodded. Thanks, Miss Pie. I'll let you know what I find. As they walked away, Dad whispered, Well, that was a very polite warning. Harley tugged a carrot from his pouch. I think I'll eat 2 snacks, just in case. Tom led Harley and Dad into the stable, where shafts of sunlight cut through the wood slats and dust danced like fairy lights in the air. In the far stall stood a big, shaggy old horse with a long white mane and sleepy eyes. This is Melvin, Tom said in a hushed tone, like they were entering a library. He's been here longer than the farm itself. Melvin gave a deep snort and blinked slowly at Harley. Good afternoon, sir, Harley said politely. Melvin lowered his big head. You're the visitor who smells like carrots. That's me, Harley said. You're very large and shiny. Melvin chewed thoughtfully, then added in a slow, gravelly voice, You're not going near the barn, are you? Harley hesitated. You mean the haunted one? Melvin gave a dramatic sigh. Young animals these days, always rushing into spooky situations without proper hoof wear. Dad raised an eyebrow. What kind of haunting, exactly? The kind where voices moan like a forgotten trumpet, Melvin said, and something knocks over feed buckets, but no one's there. Harley's eyes widened. Melvin stared into the distance. Or maybe it's just the wind. Either way, don't say I didn't warn you. Back outside in the sunshine, Tom led Dad and Harley to another pen, Daisy bouncing along with them. A young donkey trotted in circles, chasing a butterfly and kicking up tufts of hay. Pete, Tom called, settle down, we've got visitors. Pete skidded to a stop and trotted over, panting and cheerful. Hi, I'm Pete. I run fast and jump high, and sometimes I chew fence posts. Harley grinned. I'm Harley. I eat snacks and fall into things. Awesome, Pete shouted, and they bumped noses. Pete sniffed Harley's collar and tilted his head. You're new here. You didn't hear it last night, did you? Hear what? Harley asked. Pete leaned in. The creak, the slam, the rattle, the bang. Was it the barn? Harley whispered. Pete nodded so hard his ears flopped. It yelled at me. Yelled? Dad said skeptically. Well, not like words, but like thunder with a bellyache. Harley frowned. That sounds like a ghost with indigestion. Harley glanced around nervously. Still spooky. Pete nodded solemnly. I'm rooting for you, but also staying far away. Finally, they made their way to the pig pen. 3 tiny piglets stood in a row, each with a flair for drama. I'm Harold. I'm Monica. Ichabod, said the third, and together we are... They struck a pose. The Harmonics, they shouted. We do original farmyard folk funk, said Harold. Ichabod tapped on a paint can with a twig. We're currently unsigned, but emotionally validated. They launched into a new song titled Oink If You're Spooked. After the final squeal solo, Harley clapped his paws together. You're amazing! Ichabod leaned in with a serious expression. You're not going to the barn, are you? Oh, I might, Harley said bravely. Everyone keeps warning me, though. Harold gasped. We once tried to record in there. The acoustics were amazing, but then the door slammed shut on its own. Monica whispered, and something squeaked from the rafters. Ichabod tapped his spoon on the can like a warning bell. It's the final verse of doom. Harley tilted his head. Of doom? Ichabod frowned. Super creepy. Harley tried to look braver than he felt. I'll solve the mystery, he said. Me and my dad aren't scared. Later, as the sun dipped low, Harley and Dad stood in front of the old barn. It leaned sideways. The wood was cracked. The door creaked in the breeze. You sure about this, Bud? Dad asked. I've been warned by 5 animals, Harley said. I'm going in. A voice whispered. Psst. Harley spun around. Daisy poked her head out from behind a hay bale. You're really going in? She whispered. Harley nodded. I already promised the piglets I'd solve the mystery. Well, I'm coming with you, Daisy said bravely. Together, they nudged open the creaky door. The barn door opened slowly with a ghostly groan. Harley froze. That's just old wood, right, Dad? Old wood, Dad confirmed. They stepped inside. Inside was dark and still. Dust swirled in the beams of light. It was quiet, too quiet. Dust motes floated in the orange light slicing through the cracks. A spider web brushed Harley's ear. Ah! Oh, never mind, he muttered, shaking it off. Then a ghostly sound drifted down from above. Harley yelped, Daisy barked, and they both skidded behind Dad's legs. That's a ghost, he whispered. A real one. I heard it. Dad turned on his flashlight and aimed it at the rafters. 6 wide eyes blinked down. A family of owls hooted softly. Oh, feather ghosts, Harley breathed. Good singers, though. Suddenly, clang! A bucket flew across the floor. Ah! Harley launched into the air like a popcorn kernel. A goat strutted out of the shadows. It declared, head-butting another bucket. That's Prankster, Daisy said. That's who's been haunting the barn? Prankster wagged his stubby tail and gave Harley a playful nudge. Harley gave him a look. You nearly turned me into a ghost. Prankster just bleated and head-butted the bucket again. Outside, the sun had dipped below the hills, painting the sky with pink and lavender. Harley, Daisy, and Dad walked back to the house, Prankster clattering along behind them. So, Dad said, haunted barn? Harley grinned. More like squeaky owl goat zone. As they passed the pig pen, the Harmonics rushed over. "You survived," Monica cheered. "Did you see the ghosts?" Ichabod asked. "Even better," Harley said. "Owls with great stage presence, and a goat who's basically your sound effects department." Harold gasped. "We've been needing a percussionist." As they all laughed, Harley leaned against Dad's leg and let out a happy sigh. Haunted barns, secret bands, surprise goats. Best day ever.
What a great day that turned out to be. Best day ever. I can't wait until next week when we go on another adventure. Make sure you click subscribe so you can join me, and like my video too, please, because I sure like you. See you next week, friends.